All right, we're looking at my wife's 2023 Toyota Highlander, and it is time for an oil change. So I've done it once before. I did the first oil change, and the dealership did it the second time because it was free, but now she's just outside of that window because it's been a little over 2 years since we've owned it. So there's a 30-day grace period, but it's been like 2 months past. Last weekend I changed the oil in the TSX, and hopefully the Highlander will be a little bit easier because the filter, I think, is a whole lot easier to get to in this Highlander than that TSX. Not that the TSX is overly difficult, I just struggled with it a little bit, but anyway, we'll see how quick we can get this done. Here's the oil that we're using, Castrol Edge. Here's the part number, the part for the oil, oil filter, I should say. And it has a crush washer that came with it. I got it from the dealership. I got the oil from Walmart, but I got Castrol Edge this time just because of a suggestion of one of the YouTube members. So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and take his advice and see how it goes. But this is what you need, and of course all the wrenches. I can't remember what the size of the drain bolt is, but we'll figure that out. I don't have this up on any ramps right now. I found that I can reach it just by parking part of the way in the garage because our driveway is on a slope. But there's the drain bolt, the drain plug, and I think the filter is just right there. I have taken, the first time I did the oil change, I took this dust cover off and I did not put it back on because I was always afraid it was going to be put on halfway and then eventually just fall off anyway. But anyway, it's just easier to get to. Hopefully it doesn't do anything long term, but my wife has been driving it around for about 10,000 miles without it on there. So all right, let's go ahead and get started draining that oil. This is a new catch, oil catch container, and last time I used a different one. It seems like it's a little bit tight. I think it'll work. I think it'll be fine, but anyway, it seems a little bit iffy right now, but we'll see if it can work. All right. There's actually a 14 millimeter, and I really hope that is open. It's not. Well, always think it through before you start your project. I forgot about that catch container being closed off, so anyway, it was pouring down into it, and I had to reach in there and open it up so that it would drain out down into the container, and the oil was pretty hot, but anyway, it's all good now. I spilled a little bit down on the side, which I've already wiped it up. I got it on the cardboard, but that's fine. That's what it's for. So anyway, make sure you think things through before you start your job. This is the new oil catch container, like I mentioned, and I just forgot about opening it up to let the oil drain down in there. So, all right. It's down to a slow drip right now at this point, and the drain plug was a 14 millimeter. I'd actually grabbed a 15 and a 17 because I couldn't remember what it was, and neither one were right, but it's 14 millimeters. So So I'm going to get that drain plug put back in and then work on getting the filter off without making a huge mess. Okay, the drain plug is in and tightened down. I know you're supposed to do it something like 30 pound-foot. I just tighten it basically till I can tighten it no more without any excessive force. So, and my handle is probably a little bit longer than a typical wrench, but so a little more torque on it. But anyway, it's on there, it's tight, it's not going anywhere. And the new crush washer is on, so that's good. All right, next the filter. All right, old filter is off right there. A little bit of spillage, but that was partly from the first part. Kind of see up there, yeah. And there's the new one about to go on. So just about got the bottom half, the lower half done. So now we just got to fill it up with oil. It's back there in the back. So 5.8 quarts. All right, I put this funnel down in here, and it does not really reach that far down in there. So be really careful about not pouring too fast. Anyway, here it goes. I've done this once, so it obviously works. All right, 5 quarts is in. I'm going to check it, see where the level is right now. It all went out in there without spilling out. So I checked the oil level. It's hard to see on here, but it is just a little bit above the low mark. The car is sitting a little bit on an angle upwards, so it might affect it a little bit, but it does have oil on the dipstick, and that is the new oil because I wiped it off before I put it back in there. So far so good. I'll put a little bit more in from the 1 quart that I've got over there and then check it again. Probably put about half of that quart in there to start with. All right, I put that last half quart in, or I put half of that quart in, and it registered probably about halfway up the dipstick, halfway between the marks. So I'm going to call that good until I can get it back on level ground and just let it all settle down in there. So anyway, I think we're all good. All right, I have pulled the Highlander back into the garage. We're now on a level spot. I'm not sure if I can get that focused, but it seems that we're at least 3/4 of the way up the dipstick with the oil level. I'm not sure you can see that, but one thing I forgot to do is reset the maintenance light, which I'm going to do now. All right, I'm going to reset the maintenance light. So I'm going to turn it on. All right. I figured it out. Oops. Okay, that's all.